You are getting ready to listen to the voice of Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, four-time national judo champion, Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, author, speaker, and coach.
Hello, this is Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, and welcome to another edition of Coffee with Rhadi. Today, I'd like to share something special with you, something that I believe that is definitely going to help you, something that's helped me, and something that I've learned over the years as a parent, a coach, a teacher, and also a son of a professional athlete. I want to talk to you about something that my cousin Mark Beckford always used to tell me when I was growing up. He used to say, obedience is better than sacrifice. And over the years, I've had the privilege, and I do mean privilege, of watching my children excel in their respective arts. I've seen them win, I've seen them lose, I've seen them grow, I've seen them struggle, I've seen them fail, I've seen them win, I've seen them hurt, I've seen them cry, and I've seen them laugh. And through it all, one lesson keeps rising to the top, one that every parent and every child needs to understand, and that is obedience is better than sacrifice. I know today people don't really like the word obedience. It has more of a negative connotation to it. But the bottom line is that you need to understand the importance of obedience. Now, that particular phrase didn't come from me. It came from the Bible. It comes from Scripture, from 1 Samuel 15:22, where the prophet Samuel told Saul to obey is better than sacrifice. But whether you're in the church or not in the church, or whether you're in the mat, on the field, on the court, or in life, the meaning remains the same. You cannot substitute effort for execution. You cannot replace discipline with drama. And you cannot make up in one grand gesture what you've lost through daily disobedience. Let me break this thing down like a fraction. See, as a coach and a father, I've seen a lot of athletes who love the idea of sacrifice. They love saying, "Coach, I give it my all in the tournament. I'll do whatever it takes." But what they don't love is obedience. They don't love following the process. They don't love doing exactly what's required, especially when it's uncomfortable, when it's boring, or when it's inconvenient. And here's the truth. Sacrifice looks glamorous. Obedience looks plain. Sacrifice feels emotional. Obedience feels monotonous. But obedience builds results, while sacrifice only builds regret when it's not rooted in consistency. See, the thing that you like to do and that you love to do, you're really not making a sacrifice when you do it. When you get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 5 o'clock in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the morning because you want to be the best, you want to be a state champ, you want to be a world champ, you want to be a national champion, or if you're studying the ACT and the SAT because you want to go to a good school, and those things they're not really sacrifices. You're not really sacrificing. You're investing in exactly what you want to do. So it's really not a sacrifice. The question is, do you have the ability to be obedient to do the thing every day, day in and day out, when you don't feel like it? When my kids were coming up in judo, there were days when they didn't want to train. There were days when they wanted to hang out, sleep in, hang with their friends, skip practice. And as a dad, I understood, man, they're kids. But as a coach, I knew something deeper. They won't be kids forever. And the ones who obey the process win in the long run. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being in the perfect position. See, obedience keeps you in position to receive the blessing. Sacrifice tries to buy the blessing after you've already drifted out of position. See, you don't obey and then you try to sacrifice, meaning you miss practice on Monday morning, so you try to double up by doing a practice on Tuesday morning earlier. So you try to get there at 4 when you're supposed to be there at 5 the day before, so you can work out from 5 to 6 because you think putting in the 2 hours is going to make up for the hour that you missed. Because you weren't obedient, then you're trying to sacrifice. See, obedience is doing what you need to do when you need to do it. Doing what you've been asked to do the exact way that you have been asked to do it. Not with the sprinkles you want to put on top, not with the icing, not with the extra. Exactly how your coach, your parent, your teacher, or the group, or the job, or your boss asked you to do it. even when you don't feel like it. It's trusting your coach's voice when your emotions tell you to quit. It's listening to your parents when your friends are louder. It's believing that the small daily disciplines will pay off even when nobody's clapping for you yet. And parents, let me talk to you for a second. We live in a time where a lot of parents want to save their kids from discomfort instead of training them through it. But growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Obedience to the process must be modeled and reinforced at home. I am a coach. I am not a miracle worker. I am a coach. I am not a miracle worker. I can give you the steps. I can give you the blueprint. I can give you the framework. But if you don't model it and reinforce it at home, the magic can't happen. If your child learns that they can disobey their way out of discomfort, they'll grow up thinking they can negotiate their way out of discipline. And life does not negotiate with the undisciplined. Let me say that again. Life does not negotiate with the undisciplined. My children know that my favorite word, the D word, is discipline. I believe in discipline, and I always tell them that the root word of discipline is disciple. And in order to be a disciple, you must be a student. In order to be a student, you must study. You must study to show thyself approved as a good workman who can rightly divide the word of truth. You need to be disciplined. When my children listen, when they do the little things that are actually big things, when they follow directions, when they show up early, when they pay attention, I don't see just compliance. I see character development. Because obedience builds habits and habits builds greatness. And it's not about control. It's about alignment. My kids understand alignment, assignment, read, recognize, react, focus, and finish. You have to be in the proper alignment to complete the correct assignment. And when a child obeys, a good coach, a good teacher, or a good parent, they align themselves with the wisdom and the experience that has been earned over time. And that alignment will carry them further than talent ever will. So let me leave you with this. If you are a young athlete, stop looking for a shortcut. There are none. Be obedient to your training, to your coach, and to the process. If you are a parent, stop putting a titty in your child's mouth. Let them eat whole foods. Let them learn how to suffer. And stop trying to substitute sacrifice for structure. Be obedient to the standards that will make your child strong, not just happy. And I say this all the time. You can go through the Bible from the front to the back. You will not find the word happy. You will find the word joy, but you will not find the word happy. You will find the words suffering and long suffering. It is okay to allow your children to suffer. I do not believe in abuse, but if we break down the word abuse by the Latin, ab means outside of. That means if what you're doing is outside of being useful, it is abuse. Allowing your child to suffer a little bit when they want to do a thing is not abusive. It is the assignment that is necessary for the particular alignment. Because in this life, obedience will take you places that sacrifice alone never can. So stay the course, do what's right, not what's easy, and remember, as my cousin Mark would always tell me, obedience is better than sacrifice.
You are getting ready to listen to the voice of Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, 4-time national judo champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, author, speaker, and coach.